Good morning, everyone. Day 2.
Welcome to the next day. Trent has been driving for a few hours. It is 9 a.m. and I feel fantastic. I slept so well. The air is just crisper and less humid and everything is bright. It's 28 degrees. It's pretty frigid, but it just feels good to me. It's just a different atmosphere than the East Coast and I love it. I love it so much. So I have volunteered to make some breakfast. What's nice about driving these long road trips is that, yeah, we can do Starbucks whenever we want, but we can also just buy some groceries and make some food on the road, which is what we did yesterday. We went to Whole Foods, grabbed some groceries, so this morning I'm gonna make some eggs. Cornbread and maybe some clementines. You know, let's just make this an orange meal all around. Hello, my love.
Yay! Thank you.
We have a very exciting day ahead of us.
3 down, 13 and a half to go. Driving in this part of the country, it's kind of like this. Really long, straight, flat.
It's nice. There's not much traffic.
As long as Wyoming isn't super windy with icy roads, I don't really care. But since it's 29 degrees and like the sun is up and we're south of Wyoming and lower in elevation, I think by the time we get to Wyoming, it's probably going to be windy and it's probably going to be below freezing. And when we get to the really windy parts, the sun's probably going to have gone down.
So basically, we're driving from DC to Utah. And it's a pretty straight shot, except for you can decide at the very end to go through Wyoming or through Colorado. To go through Wyoming, well, explain the difference.
Wyoming is I-80, and there's almost always a dangerous crosswind. You're on a high plateau. Everything's like frozen and treacherous. It's like the most deadly interstate pass in the country. Or you can go through Colorado, which takes about an hour longer to go down through I-70, and you have to go over one mountain pass that's like 11,000 feet, which is way higher than anything in Wyoming, but it's just this one mountain pass, and then you're kind of good other than that. There is some sketchy places when you go through like Breckenridge and Vail and stuff, but usually not as bad as I-80. I think we're gonna go I-80 since there's not any rain or snow in the forecast, and there hasn't been for the past few days. I think the road will be good. However, the crosswind is still probably going to be an issue. With a tall van like we have, that's something you want to be aware of, or be cautious when driving.
It's a bit nerve-wracking, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it in like 10 hours.
What's up, guys? We're in the middle of Nebraska. We're driving down the freeway. We're absolutely starving, trying not to stop. I don't want to have to buy any more food. We've got the ingredients to make bruschetta. So I'm making bruschetta right now. I got sliced baguettes in the oven. Here's the mozzarella. I got tomatoes. I gotta put it all together. And hopefully I can stay on my feet the whole time. This is actually a lot more difficult than it probably seems. The worst part is we're just going straight down a long straight road on the freeway. It's just like the slight little adjustments and the bumps are what really throw you off. Anyways, I'm gonna get to work. Olives and guac, extra snacks to go with the bruschetta. Right, cheese is nice and melty. out Van Mid Bruschetta while doing 80 miles an hour down I-80. Let's go up front and eat it. Oh my gosh, I almost slid off the edge. All right, let's go up front and eat it. Wow! Wow, look at this! Good? Excellent.
The bruschetta was delicious. Snacks have been good on this trip, I must say. Bruschetta, excuse me. We switched drivers. We've got about 5.5 hours, 6 hours left. How are you doing?
Now we're in Wyoming. We were talking earlier about how this is the most dangerous highway in the nation. There's been 110 casualties on this highway in 2019. I've seen multiple signs that were saying that. In 2018. It's not 2019 yet.
He's just preparing.
I can feel the crosswinds starting to pick up. There's obviously snow everywhere. It's 33 degrees, but the sun hasn't gone down yet. And I think by the time we get to the most treacherous part, it's going to be worst case scenario other than the fact that it could be snowing. So you can probably hear the wind right now. We'll see how this old wind-resistant high-top van does in the crosswinds on the icy highway. Pretty well. We haven't run into any very icy conditions. Looks like Maps is telling us that there's some stopped freeway up here, so hopefully we're not going to run into anything that's going to slow us down too much. There's a bunch of signs that say there's blowing snow, so there's like 45 to 50 mile per hour gusts of wind that are. That's the crappy thing about I-80 in Wyoming is that the wind always blows adjacent. So it's a side wind or a crosswind. And with top heavy vehicles, it just sucks. But it's blowing snow across the freeway too, and it's 29 degrees. So it is cold enough to freeze. It's going smooth. We're happy with the progress so far. It's so windy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Why with the light?
Sorry. Stay focused. It's a little hairy out there.
Been white knuckling it for hours. We ended up going this way because I didn't want to go an extra hour, but I think we've only got probably another hour or something before we're out of this.
Alright. We made it. We made it.
It's been, how long?
We left at 6 a.m. It's been another 16.5-hour day.
16.5 hours.
Yeah.
We're about 10 minutes away from my grandparents' house, which is where we will be ending our journey. So glad we made it through the gnarly I-80 of Wyoming. The stressfulness is over. I feel like it drained so much energy out of me to be like white-knuckled. And I just feel completely exhausted. For the last 2 days, we drove 32, 33 hours pretty much. It's insane.
Now we know what it feels like to drive 33 hours in 48 hours.
Yeah, absolutely brutal.
It's pretty brutal. I am pooped.
We made it to Grandma's house. They're in bed. We're not gonna wake them up. We're just gonna jump into our bed and go to sleep.
But we are here in time for Christmas, which is really what the goal of that long, harrowing journey was. So
absolutely,
we made it. That's
We're
cool.
Stoked on that. We want to thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Go ahead and like the video if you would like to do that. Subscribe to Trent and Allie if you're not already.
And we'll talk to you soon, guys.
See you guys on the next
Merry
one.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Even though it's past Christmas by the time you guys see this. Merry Christmas
Merry
anyways.
Christmas.
Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. All the things. Thanks, guys. See you later.